Let's get Andrea in this conversation. Andrea in Salt Lake City.
Yay, Andrea.
Hello, Andrea.
Yes. Charles Woolley wants to welcome you to the show.
Welcome. Are you pregnant, or have you ever been?
No, and I'm not interested in the near future.
Andrea, anyway. To be clear, she was there with her husband. They were sitting there as a couple. The whole world knows they're having a baby. The due date is in June, and he just wanted to count backwards. That's just common curiosity, is it not?
Yeah, I was kind of weirded out by this, and I think that the couple should have out-weirded the interviewer by saying, we're not sure when it was conceived, we're not sure he's the father, something like that.
Yeah.
Or going to
I like that.
Very detailed description of how the baby was conceived.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Sure he wasn't cutting it, something like that. And then, but then the other thing that I think is, this was an Australian interviewer interviewing the New Zealand Prime Minister. I mean, putting it into terms that I can understand. Would I really respect the Prime Minister of Canada? Probably not. So maybe that's part of it too.
I love her accent. Here's Charles Woolley defending himself.
I was. I can hear the faint intonations from across the ditch right now. It's a bit Orwellian, I think. You've got to be so careful now with newspeak and thought crime and everything else. We suffer the same thing in Australia. It's not a good time to be a journalist. If you say somebody is attractive, my dictionary lists attractive, the thesaurus, about 50 choices from good looking to gorgeous to likable. I mean, there's so many different meanings.
Well, he's certainly saved himself.
That was totally incoherent.
Yeah, by just telling how he rates women. He's like, no, look, I go from likable to dog to breathtaking.
But, Andrea, would you agree? He said it's like Orwellian newspeak. You can't even say he's a journalist. Maybe it's not hard journalism. It's obviously personality journalism. He's got the Prime Minister in. He does a kind of a human interest magazine-style show. And, he's asking kind of personal questions. Is there any difference between what Charles Woolley was doing and what Barbara Walters would do on her specials, Andrea?
I don't know. I'm not all that familiar with either of their bodies of work.
She made, who's the Scent of a Woman guy there? What's the actor?
Al Pacino.
She made Al Pacino dance with her. They got up and did the tango. I mean, it was, they make people uncomfortable, these people.
Yeah, well, but asking when a child was conceived, it's a little creepy. That's crossing a line. That's not asking someone to dance.
Yeah, it's a bit of a leap.
Do the tango.
Yeah.
It's not asking if someone would be what kind of tree they would be. I mean, that's crossing a line.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that, listen, he's operating under journalistic rules that are from 1960, and it's a different time and place, and those questions are, the Prime Minister may not be offended, but I am seriously offended for her.
Okay, here's a question of tact. Prince Harry to invite ex-girlfriends to royal wedding. He's got 2 ex-flames. They're well known to be his, girlfriends. He invited them to his wedding. Is that in bad taste? Should you invite exes to your wedding, Heatha?
I invited exes to our wedding.
You did?
Yeah, it was great.
How about...
we had a great time.
How about the Zog? Did he have... I'm sure he had some exes, right?
No, and I would be very angry if he invited exes. No. Really rude behavior.
I think him being a prince, I feel like he should have avoided it. What would you say, Dave?
Well, all my exes are dead. No, I'm
Not because... No. Not true.
No, what I really think, who cares? I mean, if you're a prince and you're already in the public light, I doubt he really did anything that terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They could probably just naturally dissolved. Like, there's some exes I probably wouldn't invite.
Yeah.
And there's some that I would, depending on level of crazy.
Yeah. I had...
These seem like safe people.
Well, here was, if I'm just thinking back to my wedding, there were exes, but they were like young, they were almost the childhood sweethearts. They were old friends of mine.
Same.
But
Same.
The last girlfriend before I was married, no. You can't have that last girlfriend, right?
I guess
No.
Chelsea was his last girlfriend before Meghan.
Who's that? You know them all? Chelsea? Who's Chelsea?
Chelsea?
I don't know.
I think that was
I don't
his,
even know Meghan. She's the current one.
She's the current fiance. Yes, and I think that's and maybe
Cressida.
mispronounced. I think there was another one, Chelsea, that was his ex.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Just before?
who was right before him? You guys, and by the way, I'm not a royal expert. I just happen to.
I don't know.
Chelsea
the tax.
Davis and Cressida Boris.
Yeah, Chelsea was one of his exes that he was together with. I don't think she was right before Meghan, though. But they were good friends. Maybe they're still besties, and it just didn't work out.
Andrea, should he invite exes to the royal wedding?
Yeah, and I think he should go further than that and humiliate him. He's a prince. He can do whatever he wants.
That's true. I like her.
You like
Meghan?
Yeah,
Or Andrea?
she's got good
Andrea's
answers.
awesome.
No,
Yeah,
he likes
Andrea's
Andrea.
great.
Yeah.
He likes Andrea.
I love you guys too. Thanks.
Yeah, I
Andrea,
agree with her.
thank you for the call.